Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM. Back for another 5 Things You Ought to Know. Fill in your BDSM topic here. And this week, I think this is kind of a big topic. I know a lot of submissives are all about this topic, so we need to discuss it. Subfrenzy. Okay, so let's start with a kind of definition of subfrenzy. It's a submissive who's kind of frenzied. I mean...
The abridged definition.
Right. In my experience, having gone through it and having witnessed it, it is a time when a submissive is so excited to submit that they don't always behave rationally. They don't always make the same kinds of decisions they would make at any other point. And they will sometimes do whatever it takes to get to submit to somebody, even if that somebody is so not worth the submission, because they're so excited to be in touch with this part of themselves and to get to explore being a submissive. So that's a really, really basic definition of subfrenzy. But let's talk about 5 things you need to know about it.
Okay. Number 1, you don't always know you're in it until later.
I didn't know until later. I didn't even know it was a thing until somebody went, I think you were in subfrenzy. And I was like, what's subfrenzy? Where you go a little nuts because you're finally submissive? Oh, okay.
Kind of like I want to do all the things.
Right. Even if some of those things you would never do under any other circumstances and are not the best choices for you. It's okay that you don't always recognize it, but there may come a time where you're questioning, why am I doing this, or why do I feel this way? And some other kinkster who's been around longer might go, subfrenzy, go look that up. It happens to many of us.
Number 2, it can lead to poor decision making.
That's the frenzy part. So I have seen submissives ignore everything they know about safety, meet up with a stranger, not use a safe word because that dominant said, I don't want to use one. And this submissive was so excited to submit, they went, oh, okay. I have seen people do things they didn't really even enjoy because this was their chance. And for some people, not everybody, it is sometimes part of a belief that this might be their only opportunity, so they better get what they can now or they'll never have it again. 99% of the time, that's in no way true. There will be somebody else. There will be other opportunities.
Yep.
And it's a much better experience for everybody involved, usually.
True.
When you are outside of the frenzy, when you're a little bit calmer about it, because then you are able to make better decisions.
Number 3, subfrenzy happens to new and experienced submissives.
You will often hear new submissives told, oh, you're definitely in subfrenzy. And I have met a few experienced submissives who went, I thought I couldn't go through it again. But either it was paired with new relationship energy, NRE, or maybe they'd gone through a dry spell where it had been a long time since they'd had a partner they could be submissive with. But something happened, and even people who know better can sometimes go through it. So you're not immune to it just because you've gone through it once. It can happen to anybody, and sometimes it's okay that it's happening to you if you recognize what's happening to you, because once you know it's happening, then you can usually start, like we said before, making better decisions.
Yes. Number 4, it may cause you to overlook red flags and bad behavior.
This is where we tend to talk about subfrenzy the most, because somebody's like, well, this person lied to me and they didn't listen to my safe word and they violated all my boundaries, but I think they're still the one for me. And I will usually say, is this your first partner? Is this your first time getting to be submissive in a kinky scene or in a relationship? You might be in subfrenzy, because there can be, for some of us, this really overwhelming, powerful energy that we feel. Maybe we finally feel in tune with ourselves for the first time. I know that's how I felt. Maybe we're just excited because this is so new and so amazing, and there's so many opportunities. and you just want to go do all the things. You are in a frenzy, and you are letting crappy people do crappy things who normally you wouldn't give them the time of day because you're so excited. So that is when we tend to talk about subfrenzy the most. We're helping somebody who's maybe a newer submissive or even an experienced submissive who just didn't see the signs. And we're like, yeah, and they say, oh, in any other time I wouldn't have put up with that, but I thought this is what we did, and I really wanted this so bad. So it is something to be aware of. It's why more people need to know about subfrenzy so they can still have the euphoria and the good feelings, but protect themselves and kick the wannabes and the air quote doms to the curb.
And number 5, in subfrenzy, you may be less vocal about your own needs.
It's hard enough to be a new submissive and not even know what your needs are yet, other than I want to submit, right? And it's hard to be in a new relationship where you both you make the best impression. And so some submissives, not all, of course, will hold back and they'll say, well, I need to focus on what my dominant wants. I need to be the best submissive I can be. And they will push their needs to the side. That can happen whether you're in subfrenzy or not. But in subfrenzy, it tends to happen more often because you are so excited, because many times, but not all, you aren't as educated yet as you will be later when you're a submissive for longer. And so it's important to remember that no matter where you are in your stage of submission, how long you've been doing it, how frenzied or not you are, your needs matter, and you should be able to voice them. If you are with somebody who does not want to hear what you think or what you want, or doesn't even give any consideration to the things you want and need, that's not the person to be submitting to. That's another red flag. And the thing I want every submissive ever to know, whether you're a switch or you are always a submissive, is that your needs matter too.
Yes, they do.
Whether you're in subfrenzy or not, your needs matter too. So don't think you can't or shouldn't speak up about them, and don't allow the excitement of the newness of submission or that relationship to stop you from expressing your needs. Your needs matter too. Yeah. So subfrenzy is not inherently dangerous.
No.
It is not inherently bad. It can be a really great feeling. It's kind of a little bit of a natural high because you are finally doing things that just feel so good. But as with everything we do, you gotta pay attention to
it's a growth experience.
It is a growth experience. And I think most of us who have gone through subfrenzy, especially if it was, oh, that's what that was, and we look back and we recognize it, we can see things we wouldn't do again, mistakes we made that we will not repeat. It also helps us guide newer kinksters and say, okay, be on the lookout for this. This could happen. And that's where I'm coming from with this. That's where we're coming from with it, is our experience of having either been on the receiving end of subfrenzy. Good, honorable people will try to take care of you even in your exuberance. Air quote doms and wannabes will take advantage of that exuberance. And that's the difference. It's not that you shouldn't go through subfrenzy. It's that with the right partner, that energy is directed in a way that makes it really exciting and
it's a
really
positive.
fun.
It's a positive guidance when it's done with the right people.
Well, with the wrong person, it can be dangerous. So it's important to know about it.
Yeah.
So if you have gone through subfrenzy, witnessed subfrenzy, whatever, and you can think of things that people need to be aware of or to know about it, please leave a comment below. If you have questions about subfrenzy, or if you wonder, could this be subfrenzy, feel free to ask below. If we can't answer it, maybe somebody else in our online BDSM community here on YouTube can. And if you like what we do, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share us with your friends, hit the notification button, and then if you really, really like what we do, join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Kayla Lords. You get more of this. You get some Q&As. You get some bonus stuff. It's fun. We have fun.
Yeah, we do. We always have fun.
We always have fun. Until next time.